Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Frozen Endzone. Frozen Endzone is the new game from Mode 7 Games. You may be saying, you know, Frozen something, that sounds pretty similar. Frozen Synapse was actually the game that they last made, came out in 2011, was a simultaneous turn-based strategy game. Consider almost like an XCOM multiplayer type deal, except you played against a person at exactly the same time, and you both made your moves at exactly the same time, on like a cool kind of 2D Tron-like looking arena. It was really cool, it was really difficult, people got very good at it, kicked my ass, but it was one of the best games, particularly one of the best strategy games of 2011. So they're back with that formula, but instead of this being a tactical squad-based shooter, that kind of misrepresents what Frozen Synapse was, but that's so 2 years ago, so don't even worry about it. This is actually reimagined, like that kind of same formula, as a simultaneous turn-based sports game, if that makes any sense at all. Probably the best way to show this off is to start playing a little bit of the single player. We'll try to play some multiplayer over the course of this as well, but there's not too many people online right now because this is actually the beta access. The beta actually starts as this video is going to go live. In any case, why don't we just start by playing one of the AI challenges here. We'll do AI game 1 play, and this will give you a feel for how this game works. So essentially, this is a slightly tweaked version of American football reimagined as a turn-based multiplayer strategy game with a single player component as well. Worth noting right off the top, just as a standard kind of preamble, this is the beta version of the game. Everything you are seeing here is subject to change at some point. Could get better, probably will get better, may get worse. I don't know, I don't control the development of the game. As is, though, it is a whole lot of fun and very unique as well. Certainly, you know, you say this now and then, but this is a game unlike any I've ever seen before, for sure. I have a soft spot for, like, I really think sports games get kind of shit on by consumers alone. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not saying, oh, you know, woe is EA Sports for selling 5 million copies of FIFA every quarter, but, you know, people are always like, man, sports games is the same shit every year. I have a soft spot for sports games, and especially kind of unique sports games like this. But anyway, let's talk about what the hell's going on here in Frozen Endzone. So we're playing an AI challenge. This is just going to be one play, so we're exclusively going to be on offense, but there is defense as well, and we'll see that if we end up being able to match up against somebody else in the multiplayer mode. So, there is a ball, you can see that right here. Our goal is to run, pass, or, you know, just by any mechanism necessary, get the ball into the end zone, which is this SXT vision kind of area over here. So what we want to do, on our first turn, we have to grab this ball, and then, you know, after that, we'll progress forward with it. So, why don't we just start by doing kind of a standard play. We issue orders kind of the same way you'd issue orders in, like, an XCOM, or the same way you issued them in, like, a Frozen Synapse. We can move our units around, basically by setting waypoints by right-clicking. So, obviously, this guy is right here. We have to pick up the ball on the first turn. It won't let us end the turn if we don't, so we'll just set him to go there, and then we can preview the move just by clicking this play button. Prime is, like, end turn, like, set the turn. Keep in mind, as I set these plays in motion, let's just move this guy over here, maybe this guy back here, and this guy will take his position up there, and I don't know, maybe you'll come, like, here, if that makes sense. So now you can see, like, if I play it, this is how the first turn will go. Unlike Frozen Synapse, where turns had kind of a set objective, like, absolute time scale of 10 seconds, I believe it was. 5 or 10 seconds anyway. I think it was 5 seconds, actually, now that I think about it. It's a little bit more ambiguous in Frozen Endzone. Turns just go until one significant action happens. So turns could be very long, or like this one, turns can be very short, because the first significant action is this guy picking up the ball. Well, what we could do, I guess, if we wanted to, is just cancel his move and then have him go like, whoop, and then this will give us more time on the first turn to get our people into position. But of course, you know, you have to keep in mind that you don't necessarily want to take too long, because what if he's got this guy, and he's gonna, like, blitz him right down the middle? Will he be able to get to me quickly enough to stop me? No, but he's going to be in a position to block up the passing lanes a little bit. What's actually really cool about Frozen Endzone as well, I realize people are probably like, just get on with it, like, do a turn here. You know, you don't just have to imagine what the enemy's going to do. It's almost like playing a game of, like, correspondence chess or something like that, chess by mail. You have the opportunity to be like, okay, well, what if he does this? You can actually issue orders to the rival players and be like, okay, maybe he's going to try to block up the passing lanes here, and we'll try it out. So, you know, there's one hypothetical for what he's going to do on his turn. This would actually cause me some problems, so maybe now I'm thinking, like, okay, well, if he moves this guy here, over here, maybe I'll move this guy over here instead to kind of take up the position that he's going to leave. But anyway, let's prime up our turn. When you're ready, you click the prime button, and when you're against the AI, this just makes the actions actually take place. But when you're against a human, you have to wait until you're both ready, and then you will be able to see the outcome of the turn. So again, simultaneous turn-based strategy. This means we're both going to input our turns, and then the computer is going to spit out a result in this cool kind of like ESPN-style replay here. So we're going to click to watch this. It's all presented very much like a traditional sports broadcast. All right, there you go, first turn. So you didn't see too much happen there. That is because you know, we just picked up the ball. It was a very quick turn. So we have this guy over here. We can probably assume that he's going to try to like pass rush us here. And now is where things get interesting. So there are some rules that are different in Frozen Endzone relative to American football, which is what the game is, you know, not even superficially. It's what it's most similar to on a number of levels that are beyond just shallow. But the thing that's different is that there's no like quarterback, running back type dynamic. Basically, over the course of this entire play, when the play is, you know, defined as being from when we first pick up the ball until either we score or until it gets, you know, intercepted or we get tackled, then you only have 2 possible opportunities to pass the ball. It's like ammo, right? So you can only pass the ball twice. If you try to pass it 3 times, you just can't. Like, your arms don't work. The other thing is, so you've got to be, like, good with your passes in order to, or smart with your passes, I should say, in order to determine kind of the way that you want to approach the play, if that makes sense. The other thing is you can also run, of course. Like, I could, you know, this is how we throw, and you can see this kind of gets set up here, like that. But if I cancel that, you can also run, but you can see here, if you choose to run now, you will not be able to pass again. So, you know, we could run down here, but this means that we're foregoing and giving up our right to pass for the rest of the play. So you have to choose when you're going to make that break for the exit. Now, there are a number of ways that the computer can stop us here. Already their positioning looks pretty good, but one way that they can stop us is by intercepting the ball. So let me just show you an example of that. This is a hypothetical play. If I just pass the ball to this guy, he intercepts it, and the play is over, and the game is over, and we lose. One thing that's really cool is that everything in the game is like really visually transparent, if that makes sense. I almost said visually opaque, which would have been the opposite, but you know, you don't have to like do any guesswork to see what the interception range is on this, like, or on the enemy players. Like, you never have any guesswork about, oh, is he going to be able to intercept it if I throw it here? Just by holding down the B key, you can see the enemy's interception range. So if I throw it here, he should intercept it. Yes, but if I throw it here, this is the first time I've tested this, so this should be exciting. He is not going to be able to intercept it, but he'll be able to pick it up once it's on the ground. Anyway, the other thing is, enemies will also chase you down, and they can tackle you, and that will end the plays. And you can see their chase zone by holding the C key. So they only start to chase you down if you're inside of this kind of circular range that they have going on. So again, if I set a waypoint and I kind of run like here and then here, they should start chasing me down. Yes, as you can see there. But if I hold this and I go like here and there, then they shouldn't chase me down, as you can see. Okay, so that's basically the intricacies of defense. Or not intricacies, actually, the very basics. So let's issue some turns for ourselves here. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, what do I have going on? One thing that's important to note, by the way, these like tall blocks, you can't pass over these. Obviously, you can't run over them either. But the shallow blocks, or the shorter blocks, you can actually pass over. So if I wanted to pass to him, I could do it. It would put it pretty close to interception range, and I wouldn't be comfortable because this guy could just like walk over here and intercept it probably quite easily. Oh, never mind. Maybe I get a block in there. But if I try to pass over these big blocks, I can't. Anyway, you know, I've taken far too long to explain the simplicity of what's going on here. But I think I'm going to take a turn to pass, and I'm going to pass to this guy. By the way, this red line here, we can't run behind that. So there are a few rules that you have to get accustomed to, but for the most part, it's pretty similar to American football. But if I look at this, so I'm going to pass to this guy, where do I go next? I either sprint for the exit, or I have to pass it like, this guy's going to be permanently blocked off from this lane, I think. I have to pass it over like this way. So I think this is how I'm going to do it. And this guy, I'm just going to leave him like right here. So we can see how this turn's going to shake out. And now, maybe this guy now has the opportunity on the next turn to run straight down the end. Anyway, let's prime this up and see if we continue here. By the way, I'll start moving a lot more quickly as we kind of get the rules explained. But it is important to know the basic rules of what's going on, so you actually have, you know, some semblance of maybe some backseat gaming that you can do and be like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. So we get this cool kind of presentation here. He catches the football, and that is going to end this turn. So let's see where we look with our enemies here. If I run straight down this lane, I will almost certainly just be caught. But again, that's something we can test to some extent. It's a long trip also, but let's try it out here. Yep, I will be smacked and die there, almost certainly. Now, what we can... Let's see what happens if this guy just goes straight for, like, the aggressive play. And, click on your player here. There we go. And we'll cancel just the orders that I've given him so far. And what if I just try to do, like, a simple throw? Because it's possible that I might get sacked, basically, before I can even throw it. Nope, it's going to be close, but it looks like I can get it off. So I might consider trying to pass it, but the real question is some guesswork is being involved here. Do I pass it to this guy? No, because he's going to get tackled for sure. So I either pass it to you, or I pass it to you. I think I'm going to pass it to you. And what I'm going to do first is I can actually make myself, like, wait a second before I do it by dragging this timer out. I think that's how that works anyway. Oh, nope. Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe you can only do that on turns where you're moving. So let's cancel this order quickly. Good. And I think this is going to work out okay. Remember, this is our last pass. So this is under the assumption that this guy is going to run at us. If we actually switch it up a little bit, maybe instead of running directly at the quarterback here, he just goes and stands right there. It looks like we still get the pass off. And what if he, like, aggressively rushes down this guy? How does this work? I think this still works out pretty well for us, so I'm going to try to make this play work. And we'll move this guy into kind of like a blocking position, and then we'll try to run straight down to the exit here and score some points. Hopefully. We'll see how this works. I'm bad at this game. Let's just talk about it that way. I played 2 or 3 hours. And against real human opponents, exclusively lost. I do not win against real human opponents. Oh, throw the ball quickly! Oh my god, we actually did manage to complete that pass, much to my surprise. Does this guy have any chance in hell? Remember, we can only run now, so it's basically this guy against the world. Is there any chance that he makes it to the exit? No, okay, he got smacked right there. Remember that he also can't run backwards behind that red line. So what if I, like, come through here? No, he gets destroyed. Okay. So we're probably dead. Let's try this again. You can die! Okay. Well, maybe this guy decides to run in the other direction, although I doubt it. Well, we might as well prime it up and see if we manage to make it to the exit, but I'm pretty sure the AI is going to defeat us here. But this is a good kind of, like, opening introductory period, or introductory game to... Oh, yeah, I'm going to get destroyed. Oh! Run away, my friend! No, okay, he's been... smacked down. It's pretty violent. I think that might be illegal in the real NFL. But that was a pretty good introductory kind of lesson into how Frozen Endzone works, and hopefully that gives you some indication of why I think it's so cool as well. So, you know, you can watch the game from the start if you want. Here's, we did our weird little, like, roundabout play on the first play here, and then we'll play the second play. We threw the ball. On the third play, we threw the ball again, and on the fourth play, unfortunately, we got tackled down there at the bottom. So I haven't talked about a couple of things here. The big blue squares, these are basically like throwing or kicking a field goal in American football. They're worth 3 points if you catch the ball when you're on this square. I'm not sure if you run it over the square if it does anything, but if you catch it when you're on the square, it's worth 3 points, but it ends your turn. And these other ones, these smaller ones, give you bonus points, but they do not end your turn. Not end your turn, sorry, they end your play. So basically, these bonus squares are like you acquiescing and saying, like, there's no way I'm going to get, like, a real 7-point score by getting to the end zone here. Instead, I'm just going to take 3 points and be a little bit safer, and it's a little bit easier to do. So let's go back to the main menu here. Let's see if we can get this guy to play us in the multiplayer mode. And what's really cool, it's got the same kind of system that it had, challenge, there we go. It's got the same kind of system that, oh, it worked, okay, cool. That Frozen Synapse had, where basically you can challenge multiple people to games and then, you know, just play, like, the AI modes while you wait for them to either accept or ignore your challenges. This guy's 169 and 22, I'm 0 and 2. Oh, okay. He apparently he's mildly favored. He's the #1 ranked player in the world. My mistake. So I'm going to be on offense here. And this is going to be a little bit different because we are going to be doing offense and defense here. I'm just going to say, Neofelis is away from this game and hasn't been invited to chat with you in IRC. Okay, well, this guy clearly plays a serious game here. In any case, we're going to send this guy to pick up the ball. Actually, let's be a little bit tricky, because now we're not playing the game, we're playing the players, right? So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to send this guy, like, downfield, like this. And then I'm going to have this guy grab the ball. And I'm going to have this guy just post up, like, right here and block this guy from hopefully coming in. So what if this guy comes in? He's going to be like, oh, let me get to the dude, and then, no, you're dead, okay? You're blocked. All right, now, I actually want to see something here, so we'll do this turn. What if I select this man? I want to, oh God, what have I done? Disregard that last point there. Just run to the ball. Okay, I want to get this guy, like, out on the outskirts here, because it's possible that he could accept a pass and then just, like, run straight down this lane to the exit. And then maybe we'll have one guy come over, like, right here to accept the pass over the small wall and maybe be okay. So let's prime this up. And, you know, this has... It's not as bad so far, at least in the couple of games that I've played, as something like Hero Academy, but it does have the same frustration that basically any simultaneous, well, not even simultaneous, any turn-based game that you play online has, and that's, you know, you're subject to the whim of your opponent. Like, sometimes it can take them maybe a few extra minutes per turn to do their turn, relative to you. Maybe you're a much more quick player, and sometimes maybe you're the player that's holding people up, so... you know, it looks like this guy's here, so he's probably going to be taking his turn right now. But, you know, there's positives and negatives around this. It annoyed me to no end in Hero Academy, because it meant that a game usually took like an hour to play, which was crazy. Whereas in Frozen Endzone, they do move a little bit faster, largely because the turns are, or the games are usually over in like 3 or 4 turns. So that's, you know, what, you're looking at maybe 10 minutes per game. That's what it's been for me so far, but I'm a relatively quick mover in the game, which is probably the one explanation for why I'm so bad. But what's really neat about this, I love that it's been reimagined as this like sports kind of concept here. Let's see how this goes. I love that it's been reimagined as this kind of like sporty concept, but additionally, just the thrill of like simultaneous turn-based gameplay is really cool. Like, it's strategy, of course, but it's a different kind of strategy, and I've played so few games that are simultaneous turn-based. It's really like, it messes with your mind, because you're constantly like, okay, judging by his action, I should take this action, but if he anticipates the action that I'm likely to take, then he's going to take this action, so maybe I should, you know, base my play on what my guess of his guess of my play is going to be, and thus, you're going like 3 orders down, or more than that. It's like, you know, in chess, you like always assume your opponent makes the best move, but imagine you and your opponent both moved at the same time. So is your best move still your best move if your opponent knows what your best move is? You see? Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed, as you know, in that classic film Austin Powers, they say. Okay. He has to throw the ball on this turn. This is the problem. Well, it's not a problem. Or he has to at least move with the ball on this turn, but remember, if we run, then we can't pass ever again. So I am under the assumption that this guy is going to keep running in this direction. This guy is going to keep running in this direction. If I just play it like this, will I get blocked? No. It's a little risky, though. Let's move ourselves a little closer to the boards here. Will I still get through? Okay, and then he could... I'm going to try to go for an aggressive play here. He could go... I'm playing against the #1 player in the world, apparently, so... you know, you gotta go for the gold here. I'm gonna try a super aggressive move, throw the pass over the sideboards, and then we'll just run to the exit. Or we can have this guy try to sneak a pass, or sneak in for a possible reception, like here. Although I doubt he'll get there on this turn. This guy's still gonna be the greatest blocker of all time. And this guy is gonna move like over here, and we'll see how this works. Okay, so hypothetically, this could work. I don't hold out a lot of hope. We'll see. Sure, let's prime it up, and we'll see if I'm able to beat him. Or not beat him, but at least get this pass through to the end. So this is the kind of game, you know, I know Frozen Synapse, or I should preface this by saying with a lot of these games, I'm like, well, this is a game that'll live and die based on its community, and, you know, that is sometimes cause for concern. There are a lot of multiplayer games that I play, indie games in particular that I play, where there's just nobody online, and you're like, okay, well, it has a multiplayer mode, that's awesome in theory, but it just, like, nobody's playing it. This game isn't even out yet, and there's people playing it, and I'm fairly confident, of course, the initial kind of caveat still applies, just in case, but I'm fairly confident this is going to generate a nice little kind of sub-community, kind of like Frozen Synapse had. There are still people playing Frozen Synapse, you know, 2 years after release, and it had a very active community at the time of its release, so I'm expecting that once this actually enters beta, which is, again, you know, the day you're watching this video, and there will be a link in the video description below to check out the website if you're interested in picking it up. Oh no! Okay, this is not good. You die! Okay, so I got 0 points there. So we go next. Now I'll be playing defense. This should be good. Meaning I'm almost positive that he's going to actually score on me here. So I did get blocked by that guy. I didn't expect that to happen. Now, what would I do if I was the best player in the world? I would get this guy over here to get ready to block this pass over the low boards. I would block this lane up. I would block this lane up. And I would probably keep... You know, I'm just bad at, like, American football strategy in general. I've played a lot of Madden, and before Madden, I played a lot of the 2K series. Although I haven't played Madden in, like, 5 or 6 years, probably. But, yeah, I was always just, like, 0 and 69 online. Let's see how this works. Okay, so this guy's going to be, like, a safety back here who's going to block their, any attempts that they make, hopefully. And we'll try to get an interception, but we'll see. I'm interested to see, you know, playing the best player in the world, we'll see what his strategy is, and maybe I can learn something from him. In any case, what are my overall impressions on Frozen Endzone so far? I like it a lot. I liked Frozen Synapse a lot, and I really do have a soft spot for these kind of like fictional sports, even though it is grounded in like real football rules and strategy, of course. I think this could be something that appeals to me a lot more than Frozen Synapse did, even though I liked Frozen Synapse a great deal. I think I actually named that like maybe my 5th favorite game of 2011 on my Wendy's list for that year. So, he's got the ball. Where's he going to throw it here? I think you should move back just a little bit. And what's his interception zone? Pretty good, so he should be able to cover this lane. And I worry that you're going to make your way down here. This guy's going to make his way down here, so I'm going to move this guy through here. Oh, I got blocked there, though. So I'm actually going to move this guy over here. And other than that, I actually feel pretty good about this so far. I may put this guy over here just to block this up, because I imagine he's probably going to try to run through here and catch a pass over these low boards. We'll see, though. Yeah, I like it an awful lot so far. I'm very glad this got through greenlight. It was ages ago when it got through greenlight. You know, we're in the era where 100 games get greenlit like twice a month now. This is an awkward kind of metric to use there, but this was one of the first games. I think it might have made it through in the very first batch of greenlit games. And everyone was like, you know, good for them. Frozen Synapse is so cool, and Frozen Endzone looks even cooler. And that's basically how I feel so far. Again, with a game with this level of strategic depth, at least presumptuously or presumably, if you're going to use pretentious language, make sure you use the proper form of it. But in any case, you know, after 2 or 3 hours, it's hard to say. You've only scratched the surface, right? But this is the kind of game that I'm definitely looking forward to playing against people who are my intellectual equals, as opposed to these goddamn Einsteins here. And hopefully I'll be able to eke out a win. And I'm looking forward to kind of learning the strategies that will allow me to succeed. It's a really cool idea for a game, and it's executed well. And I don't really have much to complain about in the beta, except for the fact that there's not really a traditional single-player mode. Frozen Synapse did have a campaign mode. I didn't think the campaign mode in Frozen Synapse... Oh, what the heck, man? I did not expect that to happen. I didn't think the Frozen Synapse campaign mode was one of the particular... I might be able to get him here. Was one of the strengths, particularly, of that game. But it did exist, and there was a campaign, and there was a story, and, you know, no offense to the developers, I thought the story was not necessarily half-baked, but, again, not maybe one of the strongest points of the experience. I actually enjoyed doing, like, just skirmishes against the AI, more than... I'm just doing some adjustments here. Skirmishes against the AI more than I enjoyed playing the campaign mode, but the multiplayer mode was obviously kind of the highlight. But I would still like to see a single-player mode, because right now, there's not even, as far as I can tell, like a skirmish mode against the AI. There's AI challenges. So some of the games will be like, or some of the challenges will be like, okay, you're only going to play on offense, and you're going to, you're going to have 3 plays to score as many points as possible. So I guess the maximum would be like 21 in that case, because you get 7 points for like a legitimate standardized touchdown, as opposed to on one of these like colored squares. So yeah, I would like to see a skirmish mode, unless I'm just missing one and I'm dumb. We can check that out in the main menu before we leave. And an official campaign mode, not official, but a normal campaign mode, traditional campaign mode, that's the word I'm looking for, would be fine. I would like to see that as well, because as of right now, there's not much of a single-player component to the game, and that's a little bit scary for a new player and a bad player such as myself, because it means that, you kind of go to the school of hard knocks. It's kind of like playing a fighting game online, where if someone's better than you, they're probably consistently going to embarrass you and shame you, and call your mom and tell them that you're mad because you're bad. But that being said, it's still, it's still in beta. Things can still change, and the core of the game as it is right now is already great. So we're just kind of waiting on this dude to take his turn, and I think he might be a little bit scared that the underdog is going to tackle him here. This would be the first time I've ever successfully stopped the play on defense, which would be very nice for me. Every other time that I have played multiplayer online, I've gotten shut down and they have scored on the next turn. So to have even an opportunity to tackle this man would be, well, robot. Okay, it might be a genderless robot. I don't know. I'm projecting my NFL sensibilities here. It would be a big coup for me. Even if we end up losing this one, at least we, you know, George Masoned our way to the Final Four, if that makes any sense. Doesn't really make sense to me. I don't even watch college basketball. So, this guy is probably racking his brain right now. This is a good time to point out that there will be a link in the video description below. In order to check out Frozen Endzone, it does enter beta today. I was just racking my brain again to see if it was beta on Steam or if it's a standalone beta. I'm using a standalone client right now. You know, it's the same as Frozen Synapse. You make like your own ID and you get challenged like that. But I think that's because you can also be challenged through things like IRC, as this guy's being challenged, or via email and stuff like that. And Frozen Synapse had the opportunity to kind of, because it's you know, you don't have to play the entire game at once. You can keep games going for like multiple hours or multiple days even. So I'm not sure if that still applies here in Frozen Endzone, but hopefully this guy doesn't take advantage of it if it does, because that would be a pity if he chose not to play here. But, you know, well, he's here. I can see him up here in the top right. I'm not going to trash talk him because, you know, I'll probably get smacked right afterwards. I don't know what it means, by the way, when it says like 41 or 1. I'm not sure if this is like number of... This is like his rank, maybe? Oh, he took his turn. Okay, so let's see if the moment of truth works out in my favor here. Click to watch. The ball has landed. And... What? What? He is number 1. He is the one. Neo, nice suck it touchdown celebration as well. That was really good. You know, congratulations, and, you know, a fitting time for this to end, so we can watch the whole play again as well. So there you go. He throws the pass there. That gave him an extra 4 points on his touchdown, by the way. So I guess, you know, I was wrong in saying that 7 points is the maximum for a turn. Or for a play, I should say. And then it just good blocking through the end. And, you know, I didn't really give my guys, like, secondary waypoints, so they just ended up kind of, like, standing there as he ran past me. But I thought for sure the touchdown was going to be, like, guaranteed there. Oh, I got blocked by one of his dudes. Okay. Well, fair play. Let's go back to our main menu here and make sure there's not a skirmish mode. Nope, just tutorial videos, AI challenges. The AI challenges are what you saw me play earlier. So I would like a skirmish mode, just like a, you know, an exhibition mode to put it in sports games context. And I would like a campaign mode as well. It would be nice, even though, you know, I say that, but I probably wouldn't actually end up using it very often. Unless it was, you know, substantially more valid to the experience or valuable to the experience than it was in Frozen Synapse. Anyway, long story short, Frozen Endzone, work in progress, but very, very good nonetheless. Hey, Lobotomy Lobster, I played him earlier today, and he beat my butt, and I played Neophelis, and he destroyed me as well, so I am basically just carrying for the vultures here. But in any case, yes, Frozen Endzone, in early access, beta is available. Go to the website in the video description below if you want to pick it up for yourself. I would recommend it if you have any kind of sentimental soft spot for sports games or the kind of robot sports games that existed when, you know, I was a kid, you know, back in the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis days when I was broke, man. I never pictured this days. In any case, I like it a lot. I'm going to be playing a lot more, probably on the NLSS as well. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click the like button. It does help out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more first impressions like this in the future. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Check out the game if you're interested, and I'll see you next time.